Today's Cosplay Con Talk episode is sponsored by Moco Queen Color Contacts. Don't forget to use my code Wayne for 10% off at checkout at mocoqueen.com. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. How's everyone? Wayne the Known here, and welcome back to another episode of Cosplay Con Talk, where we basically assess everything pertaining to the cosplay community at conventions. I'm joined here by Savy Vampire Cosplay for another episode of Get to Know That Cosplayer, where we basically talk about how they got into cosplays, the conventions they done, and pretty much just share their cosplay convention experience and stories. Again, Savy, thank you for coming on to be another guest on Cosplay Con Talk.
Hi, of course. No, thank you so much for inviting me. I really do appreciate it. It's an honor to be here and a part of the community.
So, as we always, okay, I'm gonna go exit out of that. So, as I always begin, how long have you been cosplaying for, and what got you into cosplay?
Okay, I have been cosplaying since I'm gonna say the very end of 2020. And the thing that kind of got me into it is, well, I've always loved anime since I was like in middle school. My first anime I started with like the classics like Dragon Ball Z and Fairy Tail was my first like big anime that I fell in love with. And then shortly after, I started watching other anime and My Hero Academia, and I really loved Bakugo, and I thought he was just the coolest thing ever. And when I switched to online school, because I grew up in a very rural area where cosplay wasn't really a thing, and being an anime nerd was very much looked down on. And so I waited until I was in online school in my senior year and I began cosplaying. And my first cosplay was Bakugo Katsuki. Kind of went 0 to 100, but it made me really happy. And I think that I found a lot of confidence and overall just happiness in cosplay before I even like put myself into the community.
So you basically started cosplaying during COVID. And I don't
Yeah,
think I've asked many people this, what was it like starting cosplay during COVID?
honestly, for me, it felt like such a safe time to do it because nobody was in schools. I didn't have to worry about seeing anybody or being around anybody. And there was this bit of a stigma where I grew up in Wyoming, for people who were alternative or different or, part of the LGBTQ or cosplayed or just nerds overall. And I think that it was a huge thing for COVID because like TikTok and Instagram and everything, it all I saw was cosplayers. People got out of their shell and became nerdy again and showed let their freak flag fly, and that just made it so much easier for me to just feel like I could join in.
Nice. So when did you start going to, because you, like you said, you started
Yeah.
ass end year of COVID in 2020.
Mhm.
When did you officially start going to conventions?
I moved here to Oregon in 2022. Um in the summer, and that's when I went to my very first con. Like I think it was literally like 3 weeks after I moved here, I found out about Annie Medford, or the first con that I had ever really wanted to go to, and I went cosplayed as Zelda, and it was just such a fun experience. And the whole time people were wanting to take pictures and coming up to me, and I was in a contest and got honorable mention. And honestly, that was back when the cons here were also so much smaller. I remember it was in like this gym, and
Yeah, it
it
was
was so
it was
small.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was, yeah, 2022. That would have been at the Josephine County Fairgrounds
Yeah, yeah, and we were kind of like
when they had,
outside and inside a couple of different
yeah.
areas.
I mean, props to them for, finding a place
Yeah.
because,
No, I
they
think
didn't want
that it's
to.
crazy to see how much the community has grown with cosplay. And now I've been to like 4 different conventions, and I've won second place at Annie Medford, and I've created my own cosplays for the first time and made so many friends within the community. And now I do like yeah, joint collaboration guesting with people and stuff like that at Rogue as the most recent one. So I'm super thrilled at
That's
how far everything's grown.
that's right, good, because you were with Vi, Moth, and Kaiju, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yes, I am. I was with yeah, Cosplay Moth, and I was with um the Snuffy, and then I was also with Kaiju. They're incredible. They're all my friends in real life and in cosplay, of course. And we get along so well, and it was such a gift to be able to guest with them and to do that whole arcane panel.
I
We're
saw
really
you
pushing to
got
do
you got
something.
to do you were if I'm not mistaken, you were season one Vi from Arcane.
Yes, yes, I was. I was season one by both days. And I did some special effects the second day of more like after a fight and stuff like that. So it was really fun. And honestly, I think that the best part of like guesting or being a part of cons like that is definitely like the fans of the characters who get so enveloped in emotion seeing you cosplay that they almost connect with you in a way they would the character. And that always feels so special to me. There was this one girl who came up to me and was crying, and she was like, you're so cool. And I immediately just like gave her a big hug and was just like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, I love you. You're so sweet. And it just always makes me feel like my silly little hobby isn't so silly anymore. It makes it feel like it matters.
So what was what was going to your first convention like? This is 2 years after COVID. I
Oh
mean,
my goodness.
it's every,
It was
restrictions were being
crazy.
lifted.
Yeah, it was so crazy. I want to say, yeah, things were a lot different at the time. Things were a lot more like I guess like less structured, I'd say for sure. I didn't really know what to expect, but it was really different, like having so many people come up to you, and like grab you or go to take a picture with you or just like have that interaction. It's definitely, as a cosplayer, it's a hard space to be in if you ever have social anxiety because I think that it's something you definitely learn to overcome in the community because so many people are so vocal and interactive and want to talk about it or take pictures or do those things. And I feel like my first convention was really just honestly like nerve-wracking because I was so not used to so many people coming up to me for the reason of just liking how I was dressed and the cosplay I was in.
Um, so you've been cosplaying for a total of 6 years now, and you
Yeah.
started going to conventions for four. We're going to talk about some. So how many conventions have you gone to so far in the past 4 years since 2022?
Um, okay, yeah, I've been to Annie Medford a total of 4 times, and then I've also been to um I forget the name of it, but it was a separate little Comic-Con that was also just like a town over, and I went there just to check out some art and stuff like that. It was more an art slash Comic-Con. It was less like convention-y, and then I guesting at Rogue this year. Those are the only cons I've really been to. And so I'm also really excited because this year is going to be the first year that I go to some big cons because I'm going to Rose City and Komori Con, and I have some amazing mutuals and awesome, incredibly talented and big creators who I'm going to be able to finally see, take pictures with, and hopefully create content with.
Well, I'll definitely be sure to see you there at either Rose City or Kumo this year.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk about some convention stuff. Um, real quick. Um, so so for someone who's been going to conventions for 4 years, what's some of the advice you want to give to someone who wants to go to their first convention, whether they want to go as an
Mm.
attendee or whether they want to dress up?
Okay, so I think that my biggest thing for people who are attendees, is just make sure that you have some cash and some form of card. I think that that is huge. Not a lot of people know that a lot of these small businesses don't have the money or the resources to be able to take card. So please, like, just make sure that if you're wanting to support local artists and stuff like that, just bring separate types of currency, just bring some cash with you. You're definitely going to want it. Also, yeah, be prepared to spend money. I feel like a lot of these people work so hard on their craft to come together and and show it off and give it back to the people who love the community and the fandoms and anime and games and all of those things alike. I also think that if you're dressing up, um, oh, sorry, for attendees as well. If you're just a big fan and you love other cosplayers too, please, I think a big misconception is a lot of cosplayers are totally fine with people coming up and taking photos or talking to them, but always be cautious and wary of people's boundaries. Be sure that you ask, be sure that you're kind and soft spoken. Don't grab anybody without asking or get
Cosplay does not
physical. I
equal
feel like that is
consent.
yes, cosplay does not equal consent, and I myself have had several interactions that were unfortunate, but we don't let those experiences ruin the goodness of the connection with people who enjoy cosplay. Just, yes, as an attendee or somebody who's a fan, just be respectful. Like, cosplay doesn't equal consent. Just because they're your favorite character in the world doesn't mean that they're not a person behind that cosplay. And also, for people who are cosplaying, bring a water bottle, bring food, bring a snack, or bring money to get a snack. Also, I think it's super duper big to have some sort of friend who's a cosplay handler for you. If you know you're going to be in a big cosplay or lots of parts, have a friend who's there, even if they're like in cosplay with you, have somebody who has your back, who can take the picture for you or hold a piece of your cosplay while you're doing something or just be there for you if you need someone. I think that going to a con by yourself in a full cosplay when it's hot and you might get overwhelmed or you might get overheated. It can be really unsafe if you don't have somebody who's there looking out for you. Luckily, all these places are pretty good, but I think those are the two huge things I would say. And
All
then
right.
also print a QR code. Print a ton of QR codes or something like that so that people don't have to remember your username.
Business cards. Yes, I also
Yeah,
I'm a
business cards.
I'm a firm believer, as I call it, having a convention exit buddy.
Yes.
Someone that you who you can go, someone who even if they're not into that all that nerd stuff,
Yeah.
it's just like say, hey, I don't want to go alone. Can you come with me? Someone like,
Mhm.
hey, or someone to remind you, hey, it's time to take your meds. It's time to go eat. It's time to like, hey, you're
Yes,
exhausted.
absolutely.
You need to sit down. You need to change, whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah, as somebody who has like chronic illness and stuff like that, I think it's super huge because I also have anemia on top of it. So I easily get overheated and I could pass out if I don't take my moment or take my break or take my time. And I think that reminding cosplayers that like, hey, this is a physically taxing thing. When you have wigs and contacts and a whole outfit, it can be really hard. And just make sure that you have like maybe some ibuprofen on you, some electrolytes, a little bit of food. Make sure that you're prepared for the time you're going to be having. And also, I would say if you are wearing uncomfortable shoes for your cosplay, bring a change of shoes as well. You're going to be walking around the whole time. So just in case you need them, bring I can't tell you how many of my friends like have gotten blisters on their feet from
Oh,
just like walking around in
compression
cosplay.
socks, bandages,
Mm-hmm.
break
Yes,
your shoes in. That's something we would normally
absolutely.
talk about, like when you're wearing heels or any type of
Hmm.
like lifted shoe or shoes you've never
Yeah,
worn.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
That's all the essential.
I'm sure you can agree with this. I mean, not everyone has their own
Mhm.
opinion on this. If you
Yeah.
can and if you want to, it doesn't hurt to bring a backup cosplay.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely not. I think that though it can be difficult for sure, I also think that choosing cosplays, especially for cons myself, is like look, it's all about your comfortability, but make sure that you choose a cosplay that you are comfortable wearing for hours. I understand that if you're doing, a contest, 100% understand if you want to bring your most impressive, crazy cosplay. But yes, be prepared to either take it off at some point or take a long break and sit down afterwards. Or for the second day, just bring something simple. I personally think it's huge if you can pick a cosplay in which you don't have to wear a wig, maybe, or you don't have to wear contacts, or the outfit is lightweight. For one of the days that you go to the con, just pick a cosplay that's going to be comfortable for you, because everybody's still going to think it's awesome.
Oh no, I wholeheartedly agree on that. I mean, And I don't think everyone realizes that, like, hey, you need to take a break, you need to relax,
Absolutely.
it's okay to go back to your hotel and just wear your regular clothes. I get it. You want to like this is your first con, but like you don't need to like, I
Yeah,
know some
don't
people
put
are like,
yourself on the case of pleasing others or even just having a good time for yourself because cons will always happen again and you'll always have another opportunity. Or maybe you can just come back in your regular clothes and enjoy the more like because when you're in cosplay, you can enjoy the connecting with other cosplayers and taking photos with people and enjoying yourself. Maybe you take a break, you switch into your normal clothes, and then that's when you enjoy buying art and really just looking around.
no, and I'm a firm believer of that. Like I don't think people, fully understand that, and yeah, like it can be taxing sometimes, and I don't think people realize it. Like it takes a lot. It can take a lot out of you. It can take a lot out of you.
Yeah, no, I honestly, even in my first cosplay, I didn't realize how much like, oh yeah, also definitely like for other cosplayers out there, get one of those wig grip headbands. Do it. Like get one of those things that helps protect your ears and protect your head and like stuff a little bit of tissue paper between the actual wig cap and your skin because otherwise it's going to leave indents and it's going to be so tight and it's going to hurt so bad. And it's like little things that I wish I had known before I started going to conventions that I know now.
No, no, it's a good thing, honestly.
Mhm.
So next, and like you said, save money for food. I already answered all those questions already.
Yeah.
No, it's
Okay.
easier when they answer the questions I'm about to ask. Like, oh, okay, we don't have to write that. We don't have to. Okay, moving on.
Yes.
Um, Traveling. I mean, I know like you're local, but you are going to be traveling soon.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So this would be like the first time for you traveling to a big. I mean, yeah, you came from Wyoming to here, but that's not
Yeah.
traveling for a con.
No.
So I might as well ask, since this would be your first time traveling, um, what's some advice, or what are some things you're preparing for these two big
Ooh,
con trips?
that's a very good question. I think itinerary. One, making sure that I have everything for my normal day-to-day life, and then also all my cosplay life. As well as making sure that my bags are separate. I'm going to have a completely separate bag for my cosplays and my cosplay materials than I do for my everyday wear and daily essentials. That includes separate makeup, separate everything. My cosplay stuff is going to be organized so that I don't feel like I have to rummage through one big bag of everything. No. And then also, picking a hotel that's close to the convention. Yeah. In bigger cities and in bigger areas where you're traveling for a con, especially for those big cons, I know for a fact from other friends and cosplayers, it is difficult to get through that traffic. It is difficult to find parking. It is difficult to do it all. It is worth the little extra money that it is to get the hotel that's either connected to the convention or like right across the street or something like that. So I'm choosing one that's close by and accessible so that the traveling there by car and whatever isn't a problem.
That's honestly, I can't argue with that. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm like making sure I have everything all written
no,
down.
of course. I think that that's yeah, those are like the only thing I can really think about. Other than that, it's all my regular cosplay prop and um like makeup preparation and just making sure that I have the characters that I want picked out far beforehand and making sure that every piece of my cosplay is done at least 2 weeks before I go to the con because that gives time for any paint or glue or anything to set so that it's comfortable being packaged um and brought in a suitcase. Also, for wigs, definitely invest in getting some foam heads to pin the wigs
Yeah.
to take in a suitcase or whatever it is, or in a car, or
And it's
however
probably
you're
good, and
doing
it's
it.
probably good to have like in a separate suitcase or something, or
Yep.
like even
Yeah.
like one of those square like zip cases.
Yes, I think I'm actually gonna buy one of those. It's one of the ones that you can like. It's like they make like zip up like shoe racks basically for the back of like doors and stuff like that. But you can use those to store your wicks. Absolutely. If you know you're gonna be doing some people like to go crazy. If you know you're going to be doing 6 cosplays for a 3 day weekend thing, like you're going to do one for half the day, other half of the day, like I highly suggest looking into like the different storages and things that you can put stuff into.
No, that's a really good idea, in all
Mhm,
honesty. Um, and also I'm sure, with how later in the year
mhm.
Rose City and Komorcon is and how usually it starts to rain around that time, I imagine you're gonna definitely check the weather and everything.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to be bringing two different kinds of umbrellas to match the color of my cosplays just in case. But also I am going to be making sure that I'm checking the weather and also packing appropriate to weather cosplays. I think that sometimes it's a bit tough because we want to do the characters we want to do, but if it's super, super hot, like I'm not going to do the like if it's an outside con and it's super hot, I'm not gonna do the double, triple layered long sleeve, cosplay. I'm gonna do the one that wears a tank top. Or same goes in reverse. Like if it's cold and rainy and really, really chilly, I'm not gonna choose the cosplay where I'm, half naked. I'm gonna do my best to do it to kind of match the weather. We'll see though.
You basically want to dress, weather appropriate, make sure you're
Yes,
comfortable. I
absolutely.
mean, there's always going to be something that happens that we can't control.
Yeah, for sure. And I think also, if you're dead set on doing the cosplay you want to do, just bring your things to prep. Bringing like a coat or a jacket that you think goes with the character for if it's cold, and then in reverse, make sure that you have like a little battery pack fan that you bring if it's hot.
No, I can't argue with that. I'm sure another thing you can agree with is it is okay if you can't make it to a con.
Yes, it
Like,
totally is. I think that there's so many cons that I wish I could have gone to, like friends of mine and mutuals of mine who like were offering to put me up in a hotel in New York, but like I could not afford the tickets to the NYC con. Like I couldn't at the time. And I think that a lot of us nowadays we get FOMO when we're deep in this community with our friends and with our loved ones, but like at the same time, don't worry. Like fan to fan, cosplayer to cosplayer, the cons are waiting for you. They will still be there next year when you've saved up some money. Like, do
no.
not wear yourself thin or prioritize going to a con over like adult responsibilities.
I mean, I say that, do as I say, not as I do type thing.
Yeah, right,
Like, I
same.
mean, I've gone to cons where I've gone to Kumo twice in 2023 and 2025. It's like, do I have enough funds? No. Do I still want to go? Yeah. Do I
Yeah.
regret it? Do I regret it in the end? Yes. Was it fun? And I allow one F word. Any other F words that are said will be bleeped out. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
It,
I
it,
mean, I think that no matter what, anything you work hard for and an experience you have will be worth it in the end for you. But yes, there's always going to be a financial way into going to these conventions and stuff like that. And I think that's another huge thing to also add is be kind to your fellow cosplayers and friends because a lot of the time, like if you're kind, you can build friendships and relationships, and people are always willing to help each other out. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many of my friends have wanted to go like halvesies and just get one big Airbnb so that the whole trip is cheaper for us, or friends who are like, oh, I'll buy your ticket if you buy food while we're there, and like little things like that. Like, be kind to your fellow cosplayers, build community and friendships because that's going to make everything easier for you in as far as the con space goes.
no, I completely agree. I don't think people realize that, like as adults,
Yeah,
that, life gets busy. Especially if you live on your own, you gotta like, okay, do I want to have fun or do I want to make sure my bills are paid? And if you get
yeah,
all your stuff paid and you still have money, if you still have the funds to actually go, then go. But if not, it is okay if you miss it. Like
yep,
you can always see if you can find the video. I mean, you can't always find videos of certain conventions on YouTube because, especially the smaller ones, but like the more semi
yeah.
well-known ones, like, okay, yeah. But at the end of the day, it is also okay, like,
Oh, that's another thing. Bring a portable charger. to cons. Bring a portable charger, one that is charged, one that works. Bring a portable charger so that you can have your phone or any camera in case you want to take pictures or videos or things of your experience because your phone will absolutely probably die. I think that's a huge one that I need to do better. I need to start bringing portable chargers to conventions.
No,
But yeah,
I
I think that looking up videos is super fun. I love it looking at people's content and for other cosplayers, like let's keep creating more content of cons. You know, I think that taking more videos
your
and
audio is like it
more fun
sounds
stuff.
like your audio sounds like you're like in like the background for some reason.
Oh, is that better?
It no, I don't know why it's just for here, let me pause this real quick.
It's great that you do these as videos.
That was very, very weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. That was odd. Let's see. So we talked. I guess now, what are some conventions you were looking forward to going to? Like they're
Ooh.
like we talked about the ones you are going to, but what's like a dream con you would love to go to?
Oh, the NYC con. Like any big con in New York City, I feel like that is so cool. I also think a Los Angeles con would also be really fun. And then oh my goodness, I forget what the convention is called, but one of the ones in the UK, I would love to travel internationally to go to some big conventions. And then also one in Japan would be amazing as well. I think that these cons are like kind of feel unobtainable to go to like bigger cons in bigger areas, but I definitely want to at some point.
Those would be fun. I mean,
Right?
I know a lot of people want to travel a lot more for cons, not just here in the States, but like, across the country. I mean, this could be a lot more expensive.
Yeah. But at the same time, you could make a really fun experience of it as well, and you can create, friends and stuff like that, so that maybe the next time you visit, you can have somebody you can stay with or meet up with and stuff like that. I think that that would be really cool.
No, I completely agree on that. Let's see here. Sorry, Ann.
No, it's okay.
Um, now on to cosplay stuff. You answered quite a bit of cosplay stuff. Um, let's see here. So you've done makeup for cosplays. What advice would you want to give to someone who wants to do makeup for the cosplay, whether it be like just light
Oh,
makeup or like
yeah.
special effects makeup?
I took makeup classes because I was a part of a agency a while back, like a talent and modeling agency. So I did tons of makeup classes for just normal makeup and some special effects. But I think practice makes perfect. 100% practice makes perfect. Do not be afraid to, religiously watch videos and keep trying and keep trying. Also, don't shy away from all different kinds of style of makeup. I think that you will surprise yourself when you get out of your comfort zone. Not to mention the difference in masculine and feminine makeup should be like a very clear difference, I think that people don't recognize that just because it seems like no makeup, like masculine makeup takes a lot of work too, and a lot of makeup and stuff like that. Like there's lots of different ways you can change the way your face looks. And there's lots of different things that I still myself am wanting to learn too. Like I've never used like different face tapes on your jawline that you can use to get a sharper jawline or different some people have used, different like stuff on their eyes or even just like coating and put it like safe eye coating and patches and then made big anime eyes with makeup. There's so much fun styles and different things you can do. I think that definitely don't be afraid to look up a tutorial or if you have a friend who's a cosplayer who you like the way they do their makeup, let them do your makeup sometime. Let like experiment and get ideas from fellow cosplayers and friends. I think that's always super huge. And also, on the opposite hand or other side of it is don't be upset if somebody else's cosplay makeup doesn't look the same way on their face as it does on you, because we all have different features and we all have different noses and eyes and face shapes. And so, looks a certain way on somebody else might not look as good on you, and you might have to adjust it and tweak it to match your features better. And don't get discouraged or think that you're not attractive enough or pretty enough or like handsome enough to do the cosplay that you want to do, because like cosplay isn't a beauty contest. It's about feeling good on your own and feeling like you are doing the character the way you want to do it. You are not better by looking more canon or more or a different color or a different gender or a different size. Like I really want to stress like cosplay is for everyone, and just because makeup or somebody's body or anything might look different from yours, don't get discouraged, because I think that that's what makes cosplay so beautiful and unique, is that everybody is different when they do it. No one cosplay is the same.
No, I mean, everyone else has their unique style.
Yeah. And I
Um,
think that the cosplays that look different from canon or like completely different styles make them that much more better sometimes.
no, I wholeheartedly agree. Also, I'm sure you can agree with this. If you are under the age of 18, please, I stress this enough, do not cosplay a character
Yeah.
that is 18 plus.
Nope. Nope. I completely agree. I think also it's good to be said as well. If you're cosplaying a character that's openly like known as a minor, don't sexualize them. Please, adult cosplayers, do not overly sexualize characters who are super young. That is not okay. And then in the same sense, yes, young minor cosplayers, do not cosplay Angel Dust from Has Been Hotel. Do not cosplay these adult characters who are very adult in the way they act. It's really important to take a moment to just see what's appropriate for you, even if you love a character, and sometimes it's okay to wait, or even just like to try and do an appropriate version of like a character. If you're like it's an 18 plus character and you're like I want to do them, but I'm going to make it age appropriate for myself and I'm not going to like connect it to anything, that's fine. But don't cause yeah, like you said, don't cosplay characters that are 18 plus for a reason. And in the same sense, it's like there's tons of characters that are adults and have like sexualized like costumes or vibes, and it's like don't overly sexualize any characters that aren't, if they don't need to be, especially if they're minors in the anime or the creation that it's done. It's super weird.
No, I completely agree, and I don't think people fully understand that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's been way too normalized, I think, in the cosplay community to just like let that stuff slide. We have to remind every cosplayer to be cautious of what is morally right and wrong, and to not set an example that something is okay when it's clearly not.
no, I mean, we say that, and also, we're the type of people that watch this 18 plus content when we were younger.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
shouldn't have, but like
Shouldn't have,
you
but
don't see us
we still did, yeah.
you don't see us cosplaying from.
No, absolutely not. I think that it's important to acknowledge too. It's like there's tons of cosplayer, like there's tons of characters that I love that I would never cosplay for whatever reason, you know? It's like also another important thing to mention if we're talking about like the do's and don'ts, it's like, yeah, don't cosplay characters who are 18 plus if you're a minor, and also do not cosplay characters that are of color and paint your skin. Like do not do any sort of blackface or Asian fishing or anything like that. That is horrible. Okay, it is horrible, and I think that you don't understand how many like people of color like struggle in the cosplay community specifically against like just harassment and bullying and just unfair treatment for just cosplaying characters. So like let them have what they have. Like seriously, let them cosplay like their characters, and don't be disrespectful. And
I
like that's just I've seen so much of that recently too.
I mean that like in itself, there's so many gray areas when it comes to cosplaying from certain fandoms, certain
Yeah.
characters. Like it
Hmm.
is because everyone's gonna have their own. I hate to say this, everyone's gonna have their
Absolutely.
own opinion.
Absolutely. And I think a huge thing too is just like looking out for other cosplayers and just like asking yourself, like, okay, if you want to cosplay a character, what's a way you can do it respectfully if you know? And just like looking at maybe even just looking at other cosplayers who do it and looking at the feedback. The community is so vibrant and so alive, and if you're questioning, there's also nothing wrong with asking questions. Ask other
No.
cosplayers, post a video online and be like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Is this okay?" Or what do people think about it? Don't be afraid to get like feedback, you know? I think, or constructive criticism. I feel like, unfortunately, cosplay is a space where you're gonna hear what people think, like all the time. And so I think don't be afraid to get feedback, especially if it's just to look out for you or be constructive.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think people need to
Mhm.
realize feedback is good. If you're not sure, ask. I'm
Yeah,
also for like firm believer, and like it doesn't hurt to and I'm sure you can agree with this, like it does not hurt to do a little research on a character so you have some idea.
absolutely. I 100% agree. I think that cosplaying characters just because they look cool, there's nothing wrong with that, but I do think that it's really important that you kind of at least somewhat know what you're cosplaying as or who you're cosplaying as and what that might mean because sometimes you can unintentionally like offend some people and then it's even harder because some people get really defensive once they've done that. And it's important to take accountability in moments like that of just ask.
It's not gonna hurt to ask,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's not gonna hurt to ask. Just ask.
No,
I
I
think it's
come.
huge too to also though be respectful to cosplayers who are just starting out and might not know how to do something perfectly. There's a time and a place to, you know, to talk to somebody or be like, hey, like, do you want to know a better way to put your wig on or something like that so there's no like lump in the back or something like that. It's like ask as well when you're trying to give feedback or criticism if you feel like it's a space in which you can do it, you know? Make sure you ask always.
No, I completely agree. Let's see here. Also, what are your thoughts on like thrifting for cosplays? Like if you don't have if like
Oh,
someone doesn't have a budget
huge,
or they
huge.
want to they want to learn to make something, but again, they don't have a budget.
Yes,
What advice would you like to give?
thrift. Oh my goodness, thrift. And then also, look up videos where you can get cheap wigs online. Don't be afraid to get that cheap Amazon wig and then style it yourself to make it good. Also, yes, thrift the clothes for it. Closet cosplay. A lot of the time these characters might have really difficult and hard to make outfits and you just don't have the time or the budget to make their crazy costume. But lots of characters have fan art of them in casual clothes, or they have a version of themselves in casual clothes, and you can kind of thrift to be a more like laid back or closet cosplay version of them. All forms of cosplay are super valid. Like you don't have to just because you're not like dressed to the max in a character's like hero suit and armor doesn't mean that you're not doing a good cosplay of them.
No, I I can't argue with that, honestly. Yeah, like I said, thrift stores are your best friends.
Yeah,
If you have an outfit that matches the wig of a character you like, just take that out of your closet.
yeah. I can't tell you how many times for even Bakugo and other characters, I simply just like used my merch from from the anime or anything like that, or just like wore random shirts that I thought suited the character's energy.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I
Yeah,
personally don't think there's anything wrong with that.
no, I think it's great.
So another
Like I
question.
said, oh yeah, go ahead.
No, no, and finish. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's okay. Like I was saying earlier, I think that it's important to recognize that just because it might not be canon doesn't mean that it's not good.
I, I can't argue with that. Let's see here. Hey, I'm drawing a blank.
No,
Oh,
it's okay.
so you cosplay as both female and male characters. Was it like cosplaying both female and male characters?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I'm personally non-binary, so I find it kind of easy to tap into the more feminine and masculine sides of myself. I think that there's lots of way you can change in the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk, the way your posture might be, and your overall energy. I think don't be afraid to really get into it. Um, when it's a super feminine character, the way your makeup changes and all that other stuff, like the characteristics, it's really fun sometimes to lean into that complete, like maybe opposite side of who you are personally. I find myself pretty smack dab in the middle, most of the time, but it's really fun when I get to like shift into the more like Bakugo is super fun because I feel like I get to be the most like confident, cocky, like masculine version of myself. And then in the same sense of like Zelda is the most like feminine princess, clasping her hands together and like super fun character to do too.
And then you got someone like badass like Jinx from
Yeah, like
Arcane.
Jinx, yeah, and that's like a whole nother thing as well. I think that studying a character can be really fun too, because if you just want to be yourself, absolutely. But if you want to take it that extra mile for video content or for pictures or for a cosplay contest, study like the facial expressions, like doing your facial expressions and your movement, like Jinx was so fun for me. And then also like Bakugo, like the way he like does his facial expressions and like the things he does with his hands and his body. It's like I think it's super important. Like just study your character. I think that that's huge. Most of the time that's not a problem for cosplayers because we're like obsessed with the with the characters we're cosplaying. But I like don't be afraid to act out. Just like do it. Get out of your shell and act like your character. People will enjoy it 100%.
Oh no, they most definitely do.
Yes, but also I will say though, don't just use your character as an excuse to act out like inappropriately or disrespectfully.
No,
Like
no, no. It-
there's been a few cosplayers that I've met as well on the opposite side of it, like Deadpool characters and other characters too. It's like it's one thing if it's
or
funny.
not gonna
Yeah,
say I'm
I'm
not gonna
like
say the name, but like Zenitsu from Demon Slayer.
yes, I think that we all
Mm.
like the whole we Pete situation, that whole thing. Yeah, I think
Mm.
that that's a huge thing too. I think it's one thing if you have asked for consent and it's a funny bit, they know it's going to be a video, they know what's going to happen, and you want to do it for content, 100% cool. Then it's all good. But don't just randomly harass characters or cosplayers because that's what your character would do or that's how they act. I was like,
No, no,
okay,
no,
well,
no,
it's also
no.
a fictional world that they live in.
We don't do that. That is
Yeah, we
just
don't do that. Mm-mm.
no, 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 no. I
So
think
outside
people
of
need.
that, totally don't be afraid to act out like your character, but make sure that you're just doing it respectfully and consensually if you're interacting with other people.
Oh, no, most definitely. I think people need to realize, at the end of the day, we're all here to have a good time. We're all here to have fun.
Yes.
Be safe, stay safe. I can't express that
I
enough.
can't express that enough, right? We're all here to just have a good time. And I think it's important to recognize that not everybody has the same boundaries and expectations as you. Some people are super cool, just bringing it in and long hugs and jumping up and down and filming funny content and jumping all over each other. Some people are about that. And some people are like, no, I don't even want so much as a high five. Like, I really am not cool with physical contact. And that
Respect
is okay. That is okay.
respect boundaries. Like I've seen people
Yes.
like how they have those vests like for their dogs.
Yeah.
This is like not friendly or whatever. And sometimes like or like a sash and people like will start where I've seen people like on TikTok people like start wearing them on themselves like not friendly, don't approach me.
And I think, yeah, and I think that's another thing too, is like, as cosplayers as well, like it goes hand in hand. Like even though I was at a photo op and I had a whole photo op where I was guesting, um, I also even just taking pictures with fans right before I would go to post with them, I would be like, is it okay if I touch you? Like, is it all right if I put my hand on you? Is it okay if I touch you? Just it takes 2 seconds just to make sure that it's okay with somebody so that they're not put in an unwanted,
Oh
uncomfortable
yeah, no,
situation.
I wholeheartedly agree. Like you see best friends or close friends who see each other hon and just give them a hug without asking. But then like if like some random stranger like wants to hug you, it's like please ask first.
Yeah, absolutely. If you
Or
don't know a person,
I'm
yeah,
just gonna be like Kuzco and be like, no touchy, no
yeah,
touchy.
no touching. I'm like, I completely get that. I was like, I personally am somebody who I don't have a ton of con boundaries. As long as like it's just like respectful, friendly. I don't mind high fives or hugs or For like adult fans, I don't mind like in Vi I was picking adult fans up and I was holding them princess style and I was doing like
I did see that.
yeah, I was doing some fan service for the fans and stuff like that. I have no problem with that, but it's all about who and how you ask, you know? It's all about who you like, how old you are, how you ask, and just all the different things. I think that it's super
Oh
important
yeah,
to acknowledge that
and then you got
boundaries
like
are huge.
and then you got some, like little kids who are with their parents and their parents will ask. I mean, okay, first off, parents, please, if you're going to a con with your family, especially like
Oh,
your little kids,
yes.
please keep an eye on them.
Yes, also, yeah, do not let your kid wander off without you. So often things are being stolen or they're going up and they're grabbing props and breaking things accidentally or things like that. Like please keep an eye on your kids. And also, for any parents going to a con, understand that cons are for all ages. There's going to be explicit content at the con. And if you're not okay with your kid even just like glancing at it or seeing at it, maybe you should go to a just kid friendly area or stay at a kid friendly convention
Oh yeah.
because
I
most
mean,
cons are
like,
for all ages.
oh yeah, I mean there are the family friendly cons.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like you gotta like keep and I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers or step on
Yeah.
anyone's toes, but like keep in mind that there are gonna be little kids there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm not cosplay shaming whatsoever.
No,
I
absolutely not.
would never cosplay shame, and
Yeah.
depending on the context.
Yeah, I believe that even
depending on the
yeah,
cosplay, like I mean,
if you're doing a cosplay that you know is explicit, just make sure that you steer away from like the kid areas is what I would say. And then also make sure that you have some sort of like if you know it's like pretty explicit, make sure that you stay out of the kid areas, absolutely, or have some sort of cover up while you're passing through. Like it's important to recognize that not everybody is as comfortable with that, especially for an all ages event. But if you know that you're in an 18 plus area or that it's not a kid area, like yeah, dress how you
and
want
then
as long as you're
sometimes
not.
and then sometimes there are those 18 plus events after the con, but even then though those 18 plus events have some pretty strict rules.
Yeah, you still got to just pay attention to what's okay and what's not okay and making sure that you have tape where you need to have tape or you have like coverage in the small places like you need to have coverage, just making sure that
Hmm. No,
everything is appropriate.
I wholeheartedly agree. Like, just, be safe, stay safe.
Yes.
Even like even your 18 plus conventions too will again they'll have strict, they'll have
Yeah.
rules and guidelines that you need to
Yeah, strict
follow.
boundaries
And
and
if you want to know the rules and
process.
if you want to know the rules and guidelines, please go on if you have access to internet, whether it be, your phone, computer, tablet, your TV,
Yeah.
whatever, read the rules, please.
Yeah, read the rules and the guidelines because it would be a shame for you to get all ready in a cosplay and all perfect and ready to go, and then you show up to a con and you get kicked out because you're not following the guidelines. Like it just takes a few minutes. Make sure you look over what the convention is okay with and not okay with. At the same time, too, some cons will let you bring in a water bottle filled with liquid and stuff like that, and that's fine. But some cons will be like, no, you can bring in an empty water bottle. We have water fountains inside and
Oh
like drink
yeah.
things inside. Make sure that you just look at those rules because you don't want to have to accidentally waste food or drink or anything like that because you just didn't look at the guidelines.
No, like I mean Komoricon, for example, they have those water fountains you can just put water in.
Yeah. So you can bring an empty water bottle or bring empty stuff, but like, or if you know that you're not going to be able to eat right away, but you want to be able to get some food and save it for later, bring like a Tupperware or something like that. Like,
Oh
who
yeah,
cares?
most definitely.
I
And
think I think that's a totally fine idea. I understand that we can't always finish a whole meal, especially if you want to check everything out. I was like, don't be afraid to, I'd say as a cosplayer, pack a bag that you think goes well with your cosplay, a nice big bag, and make sure that you bring some extra stuff.
also,
Bring some stuff for the stuff you're trying to buy and like water and food.
oh yeah, and also, if it's day one of the con, you don't need to buy stuff right away. You can always wait for day two,
Absolutely.
day three. They may not have
100%.
everything on day three, but they will have business cards. You can follow them on their shops, Instagram,
Yes.
Twitter.
I think
I refuse to
even if
call it
you're only
X.
going, yeah, even if you're only going one day, or it's a 1 day con or anything like that, I 100% believe in the rule of make your round, and then buy stuff. Do not buy anything until you have gone around the whole con at least once. For bigger cons, I know that's a bit harder. But at least if you know, like just a quick scan, maybe just like, walk pretty quickly and then just like a quick scan of everything so that you don't accidentally spend like all your money in one place and then realize, oh my God, this is something I couldn't live without and I already bought something.
And make sure you have money for food, and also if you want to save
Yes.
money, and like if you're hungry, but you want to, like, if you have a hotel near the con and you want to go something to eat, like, and you don't want to spend money right away because you're saving for dinner or something, bring snacks with you. Go to a store, bring some microwavable stuff because
Yeah,
most hotels will
absolutely.
have microwaves or something, or like
Mhm.
little tables.
I
Um,
100% agree. I also think that if you know, like, something that I did for myself, is I brought a certain amount of money with me, or I brought like, I took out cash and I left my card at home because I was trying to save money, and I only brought a certain amount of cash with me. If you know you have bad spending habits and you know that you'll just buy it if you know you have the money at your disposal, I suggest like all from what I've seen, all venues will take cash. Like everyone will take cash. So just bring the amount of cash that you want to spend and leave your cards at home. The temptation isn't there, then you can't do anything about it.
no, I completely agree. Now on to cosplay related questions. Um, Also, congratulations. I know it was a while back. I think you won a cosplay contest as
Yes,
Bakugo
I did for Bakugo. Yeah.
I think it was Adam Met for
Yes, yes,
2024,
it was. Yeah. It
I
was
think
just
it
last
was.
year.
Oh,
It was just
2025.
2025. Yeah, it was just last year. Yeah, no, thank
What
you
was that
so
like?
much.
What was that like, by the way, entering a cosplay contest?
Oh my goodness, that was so fun for me. And little insider scoop, I created that entire cosplay from hand in 4 days. I crunched it
Four
so much.
days?
4 days. I was able to buy all the materials, but the shipping for everything didn't even get there. Like all of my materials to make it, like didn't even get there until, yeah, like 5 days before the con. And then
Shit.
the last 2 days before the con, I was up until like 3 a.m. like working on it and just they definitely want to redo Bakugo's whole hero outfit at some point. I want to redo the gauntlets and the top and just everything because I definitely, as you know, a perfectionist, I see the areas in which I could have like done it better
I
or were rushed
mean,
or anything like that. But
that's impressive.
thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. I think that and also like the tubing that I did down my suit into my shirt into the gauntlet that did smoke was really really fun for me and I thought that that was such an extra like part of it and goodness taping getting the right size tubing and then like taping that onto the like the small like smoke machine and then like running it through like it was a whole process and I was so thrilled that I placed in the top three like I was so thrilled that I did so good for my first cosplay contest and that I even placed considering I had only worked on it for 4 days.
That's honestly impressive.
Thank you so much. I don't suggest that for other cosplayers. Like do as I say, not as I do kind of moment. I was like I don't suggest that. Sorry, I'm gonna move my area because my phone is going to die.
Uh-oh. I'll pause this then. All right, so now on to the cosplays you've done. What's that one cosplay you haven't done in so long that you would love to bring back?
Hmm. Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like I have a couple. I would really, really love to redo Tears of the Kingdom Zelda. I'm actually, little insider scoop, I'm gonna be working on a completely different version of Zelda that I definitely want to enter into a big contest at a bigger con,
Ooh,
and
I mean
that'll
with
be super
I
fun.
mean with Rose City coming up soon,
Yes,
or Kumo.
I might do it either yeah, Rose City or Komori-Con or something like that. I don't know if I'll have all the stuff together to do it at those cons, but if not, then I will make sure that I do it at the next year's big cons because I'm just so excited for that project. And then also I think that for like a silly cute one, I think that there's a few like Kyo from Fruits Basket and Sasaki from Sasaki Miyano. Those are like some of the first cosplays I ever did that I feel like I look back and I
Wait,
kind
wait,
of
wait,
cringe a
wait,
little bit.
wait,
I'm like,
Wait,
oh,
Kyo, and who else?
Kyo and Sasaki from Sasaki Miyano. Yeah, those are two boys, funny enough, both of them gingers, both of them have orange hair. That I just feel like I could do them so much better now.
All right, so that was Kyo, Sasaki. What's one cosplay that like a friend asked you to do it? You were curious about the character, but it just like didn't fit the vibe, as I call it. It's a cosplay that's now vaulted. Like you'll just never do it again unless like just pin it on the occasion.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That was probably I haven't posted, well, I posted her on TikTok, but I haven't posted on my Instagram. But probably 02 from Darling in the Franxx. She is a very like she had pink hair and a
She wears
super
a
feminine outfit and makeup.
she wears a red jumpsuit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, absolutely. And
I
that
know who you're
cosplay was
talking
just
about.
so out of my comfort zone. And she was just so hyper feminine. And I feel like even the femme cosplays I do, I'm more like edgy or emo or like just more my vibe, as you said. So I did that for a friend whose my best friend whose favorite character is like 02. She loved her, and so I did that for her, as a fun thing. But I wouldn't do that cosplay again. No,
Not unless your friend convinced you.
no. Even then, I'd be like, "You got it once. You're good. You're good."
Everybody, as Spider-Man says in the Family Guy series, everybody gets one.
Yeah, everybody gets one. Hmm.
What's been your all-time favorite cosplay? Like, no matter how many times or whatever the con, whatever the occasion, you want to
I
cosplay as them.
think, oh my goodness, I think I have to say Bakugo. He was my first. He's my favorite. I'm constantly looking for ways to upgrade him and do him better than the last time I did him. And then also, like, I really love doing Vi in that same sense. Like, I don't think I could ever not love the Vi cosplay. I feel like that has always been so fun for me. Those are two characters that I really feel like I get to just like envelop who they are and feel really cool while I do it.
Nice. Now, what are some upcoming cosplays that you're going to be doing for this year? And what is your all-time dream cosplay? It's a cosplay that you always wanted to do, but just right now it's not.
Ooh.
It's just not. And it's just
Okay.
you just haven't gained enough experience points for it, as I'm going to
Yeah.
call it from now on, instead of skill set. Or and you just don't have the finances for it yet.
Okay, so I want to say that my dream cosplay first, to make is Natsu Dragneel. Spoiler warning for those who are watching Fairy Tail and haven't finished it, but I want to do the END version of Natsu Dragneel with dragon wing and like half dragonified, and I would love to do that as well as Urza Scarlet's Heaven's Wheel armor with like giant wings and stuff like that. I think those two cosplays are just like dream cosplays. Fairy Tail was like my first anime and will always be number one to me. It's right alongside My Hero Academia, but those two cosplays would be so fun to do. And then as far as cos plans, I'm gonna be doing soon Rainbow Dash from My Little Pony, which will be super fun to
Wait,
do.
who? Wait, oh, Rainbow Dash?
Rainbow Dash, yeah. And then I'm also going to be doing Marceline from Adventure Time.
Oh,
And
wait, Marceline. Oh,
mhm. And then
if
I
you're doing Marceline, I may have to rebuy some stuff to do Ice King Simon again from Adventure Time.
yes, I would love that. I love Ice King. And then also I'm
I
going
have
to be
not.
doing
I have.
Lucy
Wait, who?
from Cyberpunk.
Oh, Lucy from Cyber. Oh, nice. Are you gonna have a David with you?
Yes, yes, my partner Parker is going to do David. He also completely made an entire jacket to match with mine
Oh,
and made it
nice.
beautifully. It looks so good. And then he wore that quite a few times for like cons and stuff. And he's an incredible photographer. He recently just like opened up his photography account and is
Nice.
doing cosplay shoots and stuff. So I'm so excited for the content I'm going to be creating with him this
Nice.
year. And I've already done two more cosplay photo shoots that people haven't seen yet that I'm so excited to post, and I'm excited to do a whole bunch more.
Nice. Speaking of, I take you, speaking of Cyberpunk, I take it you heard about they're making another Cyberpunk animated series.
Yes, I am so excited for that. I think that's going to be so exciting and so thrilling.
I can't wait to see it. I also can't wait for Cyberpunk 2, whenever the hell that.
Right? Exactly. I can't wait either. I feel like so sad because I feel so connected to the original characters and storyline, but it'll also be so fun to see
And
that world opened up.
I also wouldn't mind seeing, and I also thought it was cool how they incorporated a bunch of stuff from Cyberpunk Edge Runners into Cyberpunk 2077. Some updates. You get David's jacket, you get his
Oh
bike,
my gosh. Yes,
you
I
get
think that
like
is so cool.
there's like a side mission that you learn about him. You even get to visit his and Rebecca's grave at the memorial thing outside
I
of Night
know,
City.
it's so, I think that is so sweet. And oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Oh, another big cosplay I have is Rudo from Gacha Yakura. That is such a good new
Oh,
gen anime, new project. The design of that anime is so incredible to feast your eyes on, and I'm so excited for the
such
challenges
a the music is.
oh, so good. I could rave on and on. And
You
so
know what
that'll be a really fun project.
you know what you should have as a prop for Rudo. You should have the plunger.
The plunger. Oh my God. I knew you were gonna say that. I think that would be so funny, honestly. I think that would be
That scene made
hilarious.
me so that just scene made me laugh
No, it
so
made me
hard.
laugh so hard. I think that it's gonna be a really fun challenge because I really want to make Rudo's whole cosplay from scratch if I can,
Ooh.
or at least altered and mostly from scratch, and then also like make his mask
I
and
was
his
gonna say
cleaner
you gotta have his.
outfit. Yeah, I really want to make his whole cleaner's outfit, and I'm gonna see if I can do that by KomoriCon because I'm
Oh,
trying to take that one to KomoriCon.
that'd be pretty cool to see. Like I know Gachiakta is like getting very popular, and
Yes, and
there's been like a lot of cosplayers that have been doing their
mhm,
own OCs from Gachiakta.
yes, and I love it. I think that the power that they have and the whole ideology behind it is really interesting, and you know, it breeds a whole bunch of more ideas and creativity for that verse. And I'm gonna be also joined in that cosplay with my partner and with my friend Z, doing cosplays from Gacha Yakut as well, doing Engine. And
Ooh,
also, yeah, that's gonna be so exciting.
that'll be cool. That'll be cool to
I'm really
see.
excited to do that as a group cosplay.
Nice. Now to on some of my favorite questions.
Yes.
I call them. I still haven't thought of a name yet for these questions. Um, have you ever had any cosplay mishaps? Like something just basically ripped, torn, shattered, broke, like you were getting ready to go to
Oh
the con
my
and just you
gosh.
just like it just anything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Yes. Um, one, I think my one big cosplay mishap was with my Jinx that I actually did at Annie Medford. Um, is my Jinx wig was so heavy, and I didn't have a wig grip headband at the time. And I had used lace glue, but I didn't like properly get it really, really stuck. So it was stuck as I left, and it was stuck for about the first half of the day. But
Oh
then by the
no.
second half, it started to get unstuck and slowly started sliding backwards and off my head. And I was like holding on to it constantly, and people were trying to take pictures with me, and I felt so bad because I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm I'm giving founding father right now with the way that you can see half of my bald cap. I was like, this is so horrible. I was like, I feel like Jinx's biggest thing is her hair, when you're doing
Oh
her.
yeah.
So whenever there's a wig mishap with that, it honestly made me not want to take Jinx to another con. At least her long braided version, maybe one of the alternate shorter haired versions of Jinx, but goodness, that was quite the mishap.
I mean, not to mention how long her hair is in season 2 when she's like in the prison and
Yes.
her hair is like you don't realize how long her hair really is.
until it's unbraided. Yeah.
until it's like, oh my God, that's a lot of hair. And then she
Yeah,
has
and
like
it's also really heavy.
then she has like her short ponytail like hair in the alternate
Yes,
universe.
I really love her like space buns, and then also like when she cuts her hair and she's holding the bomb, and then like also her like half shaved kind of like cut up hair at the end is also really cool. I'm looking forward to doing alternate versions of both Jinx and Vi in the future.
That's just whew. Let's see here. Have you ever had any WTF moments from a con to make that made you go that actually had just happened to like, okay, I need to get out of here because like what the hell is going on?
Oh, um, hmm, that's a good question. I think that I don't think I've had anything that made me like want to be like, I gotta get out of here, but maybe something that was like, okay, I'm gonna walk away from this spot. And it was these two cosplayers. It was really unfortunate. One of them seemed to be feeling kind of ill, and the other one was trying to cheer the other one up, I think, and they started like doing the worm on the ground and then like making chicken noises and stuff like that and making their friend laugh, but it was so loud and it was so funny and it was so like out there that I was just like, this is so fun. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, what the hell is happening? I was like, I'm gonna let them do their thing. I'm just gonna walk over here. I thought it was so funny though.
Uh, what has been your all-time favorite convention moment? Like to this day, it is like the best thing that's ever happened.
Well, I want to say I kind of have to like the cosplay contest that I was first a part of when like I made the smoke happen, all that stuff, and the cheers and like everybody getting so excited and like so loud. I had never heard the crowd get that loud and be that like just interactive. And so it was super cool for me to see that and to be a part of that. But I think my favorite con moment of just like me was my first ever con, actually. I was dressed as Princess Zelda, and there was, I think, this like maybe 5 or 6 year old little boy who's dressed as like little Goku when he has like the monkey tail. And he was so precious and he freaked out when he saw me and he goes, "You're Princess Zelda." And I was like, "I am." And then he was like, "Can you do Kamehameha with me?" And I was like, "Of course I can." And I have a little video and I literally just did like Kamehameha with this little guy at the con and it was just the cutest, just sweetest moment and he was so happy and he was like, "Princess Zelda is my favorite." And I was like, "Oh, stop." Kids are just so cute. Kids are adorable. And I think that all the interactions that I've had with children have always just been super fun.
Nice. I honestly, I think when like kids see their favorite characters or they want you to interact with them, it's like always the best thing.
I know it's always like
But
you feel like you work at Disney or something, like you're making this kid's dream. Yeah,
it literally is like you're working
and
with
you feel like
Disney. Like
yeah, you feel like you're making this kid's like and suddenly it's like, yes, I am Princess Zelda. Yes, I am this character because you just want to make it their like dream a reality for them.
Um, two more questions before we end this. What kind of impact has this had on you? Get into cosplay, doing this for like the past 6 years, going to cons for the past 4 years and everything.
I It has had such an impact on me. I want to say it's been the most pivotal thing for my self-confidence and for my identity. And like realizing I was non-binary and also my style and how I feel about myself, it's been huge. Like cosplay is a huge reason of why I made like almost all my closest friends. And I met my partner because he saw my cosplay video. Like, I truly have cosplay to thank for like all my close and personal connections, as well as like my self-confidence and my creativity having a place to really bloom. I feel like when you grow up not I was never really into sports and I was never really into like a lot of other stuff, it was the arts for me. I love to draw and paint and use clay. I love to sing and dance and act, and I love to dress up and do a bunch of stuff. And it really felt like a place I could pour all of my creativity and feel so fulfilled. And that's always been huge.
Well, I mean, I can definitely tell from like, seeing how you enjoyed being a guest at Rogue Comic Con, meeting you at Anna Medford last year. This is something can definitely you enjoy doing. This is something you want to keep on doing.
Yes, yeah, for sure. I like to do what I can to pour as much love and energy back into the community and my own community and my fellow cosplayers and fans. Like my personal goal is like just that anybody whoever interacts with me can say that it was a good time for them or that they got something out of it. That's my dream. Absolutely.
Nice. Last but not least, what any last minute advice you'd like to share or throw out there for those who are listening or watching this?
Um, be fearless. I think like do what scares you. Try that new cosplay, try that new thing, get out of your comfort zone. Don't be scared to try and fail and try again. And I think also don't be scared to get more connected with your community and, you know, talk to those cosplayers, get on that Discord and like join in with other cosplayers and be a part of the conversation. Like you're so important and I think also like cosplay is such a beautiful thing, and conventions and this space is nothing without the people who are in it. And I think it's important to recognize like you are important, and even if you feel like, oh no, they can do it, but I can't, like you can't. Just be fearless.
No, I honestly think that is some really, really good advice. And, as we've mentioned, cosplays for everybody. Cosplay's not consent. It doesn't matter how old you are, how, gender, age, cosplays for everyone. Just be mindful, be safe, stay safe.
Yes, absolutely.
Now finally, where can people find you on social media if they want to stay up to date with your cosplays, your cons, and all that fun stuff?
Absolutely. Okay, so I have a few social medias, but my main ones are Savy dot the Vampire on both TikTok. You can find it on a link tree. You can also that is like basically my main Instagram too. For my cosplay Instagram, and I'm hoping to eventually maybe make a cosplay TikTok, even though all my cosplay TikTok is on my current one. But that is just Savy dot cosplay dot vampire. So it's pretty simple, or sorry, Savy Vampire Cosplay. Savy dot vampire dot cosplay. But yeah, I look forward to posting a whole bunch more and keeping up to date. I might make YouTube. I might make more videos and more content, but if you want to see anything from me, you'll definitely see it on my cosplay Instagram or my TikTok.
Well, Savy, thank you for coming. Sorry for I just making sure I have everything written down
Oh,
for
yeah, of
this.
course. Thank you so much.
And also getting a episode up tonight as well on the channel. This will be up tomorrow or when people are watching this because I'm going to send the stuff right away. But thank you again for coming on. It was a pleasure seeing you again at con this year. Looking forward to seeing you all at the cons this year. And yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me. I look forward to this, and I can't wait to see you again at future cons. And I would love to be a part of any other, community interviews or fun stuff. I feel like I have a lot to say
Oh,
about
I
the
will
community and
definitely,
lots to do.
when I ever get the chance to do it, I definitely want to, I got to finish watching it first, but I definitely want to get that Arcane that Arcane series review up on the channel soon. So if you're
Yes, that
interested
would be
talking
so
about
cool.
Arcane, and also as I always say, if anyone wants to come on doing a Geeking Out podcast review, cosplay is always welcome.
Yes, that would be super duper fun. I would love to be a part of anything that entails like cosplay or any of the fun stuff. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to all the anime and the shows and the games that I've played and been a part of, so I'm always down to talk about it. And I'm super active on my social medias for anybody else who's also watching. Like, I'm always happy to answer questions. My DMs are always open. I might be busy and can't always get to them perfectly on time, but I'm always here to talk.
Well, Savy, thank you again for coming on. And
Thank
as
you.
always, and as always, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you.